All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're literally decoding the ultimate frontier of biohacking and cellular health. We are talking about the remarkable GHK-Cu copper peptide. If you're looking to actually take control of your biological age, and I mean really repair your DNA from the inside out, you are in the exact right place. We're going to break down all this complex science into highly actionable steps.
So here's our roadmap for today. We'll hit the biohacking boom, foundational habits and diet, your DNA and epigenetics, a quick intro to peptides, the incredible power of GHK-Cu, and finally, your personalized protocol. We're taking a funnel approach here, right? Starting with macro lifestyle habits before we zoom all the way down into that cellular magic.
Moving into Section 1, the biohacking boom. We're living in this wild time where people just don't want to accept the standard, inevitable decline of aging anymore.
Which brings us to the big one. Can we truly reverse the aging process? Honestly, this is the ultimate question that's driving the whole human performance optimization movement right now. Whether it's elite biohackers meeting up in New York and Chicago, or just folks dialing in their personal protocols, everyone is searching for those exact levers to pull to extend longevity and optimize their daily output.
And the stakes here are absolutely massive. The supplement and nutrition market, it's currently booming at a staggering $6 billion. And with a crazy 24% year-over-year growth, people are clearly hungry for solutions. But look, amidst all this noise, the flashy new tech, and endless product drops, it is so easy to get lost in the weeds and forget how our bodies actually work.
That brings us to Section 2, Foundation, Habits, and Diet. Because before we even touch the advanced science or esoteric biohacks, we absolutely have to respect the foundational rules. Think about it. You can't build a house on a swamp, right? And you definitely can't out-hack a bad lifestyle. The experts all agree on these non-negotiable basics. You've got to prioritize those 8 hours of deep sleep and fuel up with clean, easily digestible foods. Stuff like tapioca is great because it gives you gluten-free carbs, fiber, calcium, and magnesium to keep your bones strong and your digestion running smooth. On top of that, you literally must protect your internal organs, especially your kidneys, from what they call the big three destroyers: unmanaged type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, and excessive painkiller use. Seriously, if you ignore these, no advanced therapy in the world is going to save you.
Okay, Section 3, your DNA and epigenetics. Let's look at how this foundational health actually interacts with our genetic blueprint.
The crucial takeaway here is that your genes are not your destiny. The experts use this brilliant analogy. Genes are like loaded guns, but your lifestyle is what pulls the trigger. Think of a little stick man representing your daily habits. He's the one actually making the choice to pull that trigger. You might have a genetic predisposition to a specific disease just sitting there, but poor sleep or a nutrient deficiency, that's what actually fires the gun and turns that bad gene on. Through the science of epigenetics, our whole goal is to keep those harmful genes switched off while activating the really beneficial ones.
Section 4, Intro to Peptides. Once your foundation is rock solid and your lifestyle triggers are totally managed, then we can introduce these highly targeted cellular tools that biohackers are raving about.
So what are they? Peptides are essentially short chains of amino acids.
You can think of them as super-specific chemical messengers in your body. When you introduce a peptide like BPC-157, which, by the way, is famous for its incredible tissue, tendon, and gut healing properties, it's basically like sending a highly trained specialist directly into your body with an instruction manual. It tells your cells exactly what to repair and how fast to get it done. Going even deeper into this, we have a really specific subcategory called bioregulators. These guys are tiny. We're talking only 2 to 4 amino acids long, and because they're so small, they can act directly on your DNA as epigenetic switches. But what makes them truly special is that they act as normalizers. They're constantly seeking balance. If a biological system is functioning too low, the bioregulator brings it up. If a system is running way too high or hyperactive, it brings it right back down.
Now, when you're exploring bioregulators, you generally have 2 routes. On one side, you've got natural bioregulators. These are typically animal extracts taken as oral supplements, and they come with this whole natural entourage of supporting compounds. On the flip side, you have synthetic bioregulators. These are isolated, highly specific amino acid sequences made in research labs, and they're designed to pack a very concentrated, targeted punch.
All right, Section 5, the power of GHK-Cu. Let's get into the absolute star taking center stage in this explainer.
GHK-Cu is fascinating because it basically straddles the line between a standard signaling peptide and a bioregulator. To break it down simply, GHK is the specific amino acid sequence, and Cu stands for copper. And that copper is the absolute, non-negotiable cofactor you need to activate this incredible molecule inside your body.
So, why is this compound making such massive waves in the anti-aging community? Well, when we're young, our natural levels of GHK-Cu are sky high, but they completely tank as we age. But here's the crazy part. When researchers reintroduced it, they found that GHK-Cu acts on over 4,000 different genes on the human genome, actively resetting them to a much more youthful state. 4,000. That's huge. And while GHK-Cu is famous in the beauty world for boosting collagen, supporting elastin, and rejuvenating your skin, it is actually a full-body modulator. It heavily promotes wound and scar healing, acts as a super powerful anti-inflammatory, improves gut health, and amazingly, it even has anxiolytic properties, which means it can actively reduce anxiety. It seems like every single time researchers look at this stuff, they find a new bodily benefit. It's truly a holistic, systemic reset.
Now, for folks looking for the ultimate skin repair and tissue regeneration, experts rarely use these compounds entirely in isolation. Instead, they build synergistic stacks. For example, they'll combine GHK-Cu for that genetic youth reset alongside BPC-157 for rapid tissue healing. Then they might throw in specific blood vessel bioregulators to make sure nutrients actually reach the skin, plus cartilage bioregulators to give the structural support needed for elastin. It's an incredibly comprehensive, targeted approach.
Which brings us to Section 6, the personalized protocol. Let's wrap this up by looking at how you can actually utilize these tools safely and effectively.
Look, you can't just run out, buy random research chemicals and hope for a miracle. First things first, you have to clean up your internal terrain. A toxic, inflamed body just isn't going to respond well to these signals. Second, get tested so you actually know your baseline biomarkers. Third, please work with a qualified health practitioner to understand what your specific personal needs are. And finally, remember that these are not daily vitamins. You have to cycle these compounds intelligently, use them for short windows to balance the body, and then give your system a well-deserved rest.
I absolutely love this analogy from our sources. They say a bioregulator helps to restore the tread on your tires, giving your cells the ability to heal and operate youthfully again. But you still have to drive the car. Your daily habits, what you eat, how you sleep, how you manage your stress, all of that will ultimately dictate exactly how long that restored function actually lasts.
So as we conclude this explainer, I want to leave you with a bit of a provocative thought. Before you go out and start pulling those epigenetic triggers or experimenting with advanced peptides like GHK-Cu, ask yourself, what foundational habit do you need to fix today? Whether it's dialing in your sleep, cleaning up your diet, or managing that daily stress, your cellular health starts with the choices you're making right now.